just wanted to have a little chatty video with you. I think I haven't filmed the July catch-up video. I don't remember about June, and so August has now finished, so I thought I'll just probably do the August before that's too late as well. So just to catch up on a few things. Now the sun will be coming in and out because it's morning time, and as you know, at this time the sun is in on that side of the house. So what you can see here now, before the sun comes back in, I have been playing around with this watercolor set. I already filmed a bit of a like swatch video, a two-part video, where in the first one I'm just swatching these colors and I'm getting used to them. So these are the Gansai Tambi, which stands for Japanese watercolors, and this is the 70s set. So anyway, yeah, basically I have been playing around, and then in the second part of the video I started in an abstract way creating these kind of swatches, and then the more I played with it, the more I discovered about it, and by the end I was just amazed, and I wanted to film a separate video on that because yeah, I was just really surprised what I have discovered. And through the discovery as well, this is something else, but basically I've been applying them to rice paper and then leaving them on a little tray. This is like a craft tray that I use for projects when I'm doing with my son. Just a basic plastic one, and that means I can put the rice paper, which is, you know, very thin, and if it goes through the rice paper, that's fine, and then I just leave it overnight to dry fully, and then it's all good, and it has a bit of that texture. Actually, I really love painting on rice paper, just that it's kind of like a soft crinkle. It's not like Tamoy River crinkle. Let me just put it in front of the mic. I find it delicious. It's a very soft, beautiful crinkling sound. And having said that, I also love how the watercolor behaves. And someone, you know, if you're watching, but I don't know if you want your name mentioned or not, but one of my viewers has mentioned that these Gansai Tambi paints are great to be used on rice paper. And I have to say, what I did first was I applied this, like, this is how I started. So I applied this beautiful turquoisey color here, which I mixed up, and that actually didn't leak through at all, and I was really surprised. So there must be something, well, obviously the formulation of the Gansai Tambi watercolors is different to the Western traditional watercolors that we know of, and so yeah, it was fascinating. However, then later I decided to play a little bit with the synthetic ox skull and seeing whether that will sort of change anything. And that's when, as soon as I started adding it into the watercolors, the watercolor would just penetrate the paper and completely soak it. So I wonder if, you know, if next time I don't use the ox skull at all, this is the synthetic one by Core, then whether they just will sit on top. So that would be interesting to play with. Next thing on my list, and I might actually film it. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see the process to that. If you're curious what this medium does, it's basically, it helps to push watercolors. So if you add it into watercolors and then just like a drop at a time, you don't need much at all, so this would last you forever. It kind of, on a watercolor paper, you'd see it better than on a thin rice paper. It would just make the colors kind of just push the other colors, and that's generally what Core watercolors do to other colors. Watercolor brands, if you mix them or try to use them together, they will just push through. It also has to do with Aquazol, I believe, as well, which is a different binder they use than Gum Arabic, for instance, for many of the other brands. So this is just for background here, but in terms of the chatty video, I just wanted to let you know that I have started working on the next watercolor set, and it's taking me a lot longer to get there. In fact, last year, around November, December, I have been purchasing larger volumes of pigments and supplies that would help me to create watercolors in larger quantities. I was ready to start in January with the fresh new year starting, and you know, expanding my business, and I was all ready and so excited. And then I started getting sick in January, and then COVID happened. So things had to kind of really go slow and stop in a way. As for watercolors, I had to stop completely, and that is why there haven't been any watercolors for a while. However, I am ready now to step back into it. And one thing I have to say is that for this year, and I'm hoping next year for all of us, it will be a different and a much more pleasant experience than what we have experienced so far in this year. And yeah, so I hope next year we'll be able to go into larger quantities production of the watercolors. But for the rest of this year, it will have to be smaller quantities. It will have to be limited numbers of things, because this is what I can do best with as how things are going. Post office is still very, very slow. When I say post office, I mean my side of things, as well as once it sort of starts transitioning to the other countries, how long everything takes. Personally, I have been waiting for packages and parcels for forever, thinking that some of them got lost, some of them actually did get lost. So it's really such a mess. I have no idea why. I mean, obviously airplanes are not going out as often as they did before, so they probably have a bigger quantity sitting there waiting for the next plane to take them or something. I have no idea. But also, as my health has been improving, I can do a certain number of watercolors, which again, it takes a long time to produce, to make them, because they're all handmade watercolors. Then I have to go through the pouring stages, which I pour them 3 times most of the time. Sometimes they need a little bit of topping up, and every pigment behaves differently. So you will see that one of them is kind of more sort of smooth and almost glossy. The other ones look a little bit more dry, but that all depends on the pigment that I'm working with, and they can be from exactly the same brand or company that I purchase, so it's not like from different ones, but it all depends on the pigment, and the recipe has to be adjusted as per the individual pigments that I work with. So that's why if you see maybe little cracks on some of the watercolors and then completely glossy on the others, it doesn't mean that they were created in different ways. It just means that or like different qualities of them, they are created with the same high quality ingredients, just the pigment itself behaves differently. And even when I adjust things, or have to adjust things, otherwise they would look even more different, then still there will be a difference. Rest is assured, I do take, you know, really good time and effort to make the best quality of watercolors, handmade watercolors, that I can do, and I make sure I buy high quality products to put into, or ingredients to put into my watercolors. So I could take, in fact, the same amount of two different pigments when I'm creating them, and then the same amount of the binder, which I use the Gamma Arabic, and then basically start mixing things, and you can see that one of the pigments has gone quite watery and smooth and sort of very almost sort of droppy texture where it sort of drops, and then the other one, exactly the same quantities, it will be very very like a dry paste almost, so you would sort of mix it up and it just stays on your little spatula. So some brands use honey, but I am putting glycerin instead of honey in my watercolors to make them vegan. So my watercolors are vegan watercolors. Okay, so this is just a little chit chat about that. Now I'm not going to reveal much about them today because it's not a reveal video. I want to put all the info in the reveal video, which hopefully will be happening soon. I would say within the next 2 weeks, I'm hoping. I don't know actually when this video comes out. It might be that this video is coming out at the time when I will be filming the reveal video. So anyways, it will be happening soon, not too long waiting left, because I have poured them now. I'm just doing the final pour on one of the colors, or two colors actually, yeah, two colors, and then it's the packaging stage, and then we have the obviously getting ready the orders, so I'll have to list them on Etsy, etc. So what I will say today is that there will be a full, it has 4 colors. 2 colors will have this small amount of sheen to it, or shimmer, and the shimmer is very, very fine mica powders, and I have sourced some really interesting colors to create duochrome. So that was very exciting for me because it was my first duochrome watercolor that I have created. So the thing that I want to say is I like my watercolors, when I create them, I like the pigment to be the main focus and then having that bit of an extra there. So it's not about the sheen, it's not about the shimmer, it's about the high quality pigment with the addition of a little bit of something there. So they will have enough for you to notice it, but not overpowering in terms of the duochrome. The second color will have just one type of a shimmer, so it's not a duochrome. Duochrome means that you combine 2 or maybe even more than 2 colors, and then when the sun or the light hits it, you will see that reflection of a multitude of colors rather than just one, and that's is what duochrome is. So I'm very excited about that. The third and the fourth color, they do not have any shimmers at all, because I wanted to have this set with a range, so every color has a little bit different quality to offer. However, all 4 will be granulating. I'm so excited to have been able to create a granulating watercolor set, because I have been so into it myself, using other brands of watercolors, and I have really enjoyed granulation this year. So that is what these 4 colors will be about. And color theme, I don't know whether I should reveal it or not, but I think some of you already gathered it because I put a couple of pictures on my Instagram and here on the community as well. So yeah, I think you're getting the idea now. Okay, I think this is it I wanted to chat about, and I am super excited about the months ahead, about getting the watercolors all packaged up and ready and putting them on my Etsy. And yeah, the other thing I have been doing is playing around off camera as well. I think it's so important to do that for creators, because quite often we have this tendency of, I'll speak about myself, I don't know about other people, but I kind of guess it's the same or similar at least, where if you are a creator on YouTube, you basically you know, want to create and then film the whole process because you don't want things to be missed out. You want to share as much as possible, but sometimes you need that time off where you just experiment, and through that experimentation and not being aware of the camera, you can discover quite a lot of things, and that's what I have been doing, and it really has been quite enjoyable. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you soon. Stay well, stay safe, and see you soon.